Hello, angels. Hello, sweet people. Ms. Schwartzman. Just Sheila from the block, right? Yes. This week in Yiddish. And this week I want to open with a story, a tale. Something really, really wild happened to Sheila. Wild. Let me tell you this. Last Sunday, I'm feeling a little verklempt in the house, and I wanted to take a stroll, so I went out to the downtown area, and I'm walking. Meanwhile, a little boy comes strolling up to me. He says, "Excuse me, ma'am." I said, "Yes, Kindler, how can I help you?" He says to me, "I don't mean to be inappropriate, but I can see your nipple." Right? So I'm wearing like a low-cut, blousey type of article, and somehow my whole freaking boob had popped out. Meanwhile, what's even worse is, it was a little windy out, so the nipple, when the turkey's done, right? Boing! Oh my goodness, I was mortified. So we're standing there like a Mexican standoff. It's uncomfortable, so I wanted to do something to break the tension. I said, "As a matter of fact, young man, as it turns out, I have another one just like this one." So I whip the other one out, right? And I'm jingling them all around like this. And it didn't really help so much. He didn't seem to like it. But what was even worse is an officer of the law happened to be walking out of the mall, arrested me for indecent exposure. New? Did you ever hear such a thing? So they put me in the jail. I'm sitting there, perplexed. And, eventually I accepted the situation. So I'm hanging out and I'm meeting some of the gals. Very interesting people. And one of the girls, her name was Naisha. She was very sweet. And she said to me, "Sheila, you look a little tired." I said, "It's interesting you should say that, Naisha. I am a little sleepy." She says, "I have something that'll help you." I said, "What do you have? Talk to me." She pulls out a little packet with some powder, and I said, "What do you have there?" She said, "This is called crystal methamphetamine. It'll pop you right up. It'll give you a jolt." I said, "Fabulous." So she chopped me up a couple of lines, and like a pro, she took a dollar bill and rolled it up into like a little, almost like a straw, and I gave a little shot. It was burned, and whoo, what an adventure. Meanwhile, 10 minutes later, I'm blitzed out of my freaking mind. I don't know what's going on. I ended up having something called a gangbang with 6 of the officers who work there. From what I hear, they put a plaque up. Sheila Schwartzman plaque. They're still talking about me. So it's really something. Now I'm in a 30-day outpatient center. I'm making all these fabulous friends. So God's got a plan. No? Fabulous. Wild story. Wild. Anyway, the real point of tonight's show is we're going to try a new segment called You've Got Mail with Sheila Schwartzman, where I'm going to go through my many emails and pick out a fan of the week, a watcher, a reader who wrote something, a question, a comment, and we'll say it on the air, and perhaps I can give some insight, some Yiddish insight. So, this week's special fan, ready? Are you ready? Dun 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 dun! That's the fan music. Dun 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 dun! It's a young lady named Patty Rock. Patty Rock sounds like a superstar. Patty Rock. Patty writes, "Dear Sheila, can I tell you this? I use that word cockles all the time," referring to last week's show, "especially when I need to justify doing shots of whiskey for my cold. Patty, you're very naughty, Patty, very naughty." It goes on to say, "I love you, Sheila Schwartzman. Can you give a shout-out to your shitsa-friend, Patty Rock, sometime?" So I'm shouting out to you, Patty. Hey, girl, right? Hey, sister, do your thing. It's your birthday. Not a Jewish girl, but a nice girl, Patty Rock. And thank you for loving the word cockles. Yes? Cockles. 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 It's a funny word. It sounds like a charming little penis. Cockles. Yes? My boyfriend has the loveliest little cockle. I like to, knock it back and forth and flick it and slap it up and down. A beautiful, tender little cockle he has. Anyway, because I spent some time in the clink, Patty, I wanted to give a special Yiddish phrase so you could learn a little something this week, you and all the listeners. When you sit in a big house, they trade insults, mama jokes, and all kinds of swears, and fabulous. So I added in a couple Yiddish insults that the girls loved. So I'm going to give you one to take with you today. It's a little long, so listen close. It goes like this. Sollst hoben sen Heise, jeder Heu soll hoben sen Zimmern, in jeder Zimmer sollen sein sen Bett und sollst sich kechlen von ein Bett en der zweiter mit Kadoches. What this means, are you ready? This means I wish you to have 10 houses, each house with 10 rooms, each room with 10 beds, and you should roll from one bed to the other with cholera. Is that something? Use it in good health. I've so enjoyed my time with you. God bless you. Sheila Schwartzman, This Week in Yiddish.